Hey guys, I'm Linkajuice64 and welcome to my 5-year anniversary playthrough. I couldn't think of a better game to do than this, for many reasons which I'll get into. But welcome to Pokémon Red. Now let's just get straight into this with a new game. Hello there, welcome to the world of Pokémon. My name is Oak, people call me the Pokémon Professor. This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokémon. For some people, Pokémon are pets, others use them for fights. Myself, I study Pokémon as a profession. First, what is your name? Well, that would be Lee. Right, so your name is Lee. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you were a baby. What is his name again? Well, for reasons I'll get into, Jay. That's right, I remember now, his name is Jay. Lee, your very own Pokemon Legends is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. So, Pokemon Red. Now, as I have mentioned in the videos previous to this that were up to date, on my 5-year anniversary, Pokemon Red was actually going to be my very first Let's Play. I recorded quite a lot of it, and it was uploaded for a time, I believe. But for one reason or another, I took it down. And obviously we started off with Super Mario 64 as my first real Let's Play. There were two before it, but as I said, I mentioned them in the previous videos that were out today. Now then, I don't remember why I actually took it down, or what was up with it, or whatever. I was probably just not happy with it. But Pokemon Red was my first Let's Play, in theory. And so that's why I couldn't think of a better game to do for my 5-year anniversary. Finally get it out here. And it's been one that I've been wanting to do for a hell of a long time. Now, why haven't I done Pokemon Red? No, why haven't I done Fire Red or Leaf Green? Well, we'll get to them eventually. That's a little foreshadowing for you. We will get to them eventually. This is the original. And especially with it being the year of Pokemon, if you can say that. The 20th anniversary year of Pokemon. It was a few months ago now, but still. Pokemon Red was my very first Pokemon game. And I spent way too many hours on this. But I was a small child, so it's fine. So here we can either get Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur. And Bulbasaur's the first Pokemon in the Pokédex, and it was also my first Pokemon. And still to this day is one of my favourite Pokemon ever. So I want the plant Pokemon Bulbasaur. We're not going to be doing nicknames, because I only do that if it's a Nuzlocke. But obviously Jay's going to take a Charmander. Quite a different way of looking at Jay. Jay actually last year was one of the participants in the the Century Egg Challenge. He failed, as many people did. But Jay has always been Jay's my oldest friend. And we played Pokemon a shit ton. Primarily Red and Blue. I always had Red, he had Blue. And he usually picked Squirtle. Obviously, he's not going to win this because he's my rival. But he usually picked Squirtle. So, yeah. Our first Pokemon battle with Jay could be one of the toughest fights in the game. I'm so pumped for this. That's not good. We're slower. But a nice first crit. God, that's not good though. I think we can take one more crit. Oh my days. Well, we're going to have to use this potion. because I'm not losing this fight. I'm really surprised he hasn't tried to growl yet. This really could come down to the wire. Has he growled once? He might have growled. Oh my days, this really could come down to the wire. Oh, beautiful crit. And there we go. Our first battle is a win. And hopefully we'll keep that trend going. So, there are so many things to talk about. It's just finding the right times to say them, and actually trying to think of what they are, because I know there are things there, but I can't think. So let's get into my team. I'm not going to say what it is at the moment, but it is all planned out. I know what my team is going to be. It's a team that I usually have when I play Red, and our first wild encounter, a level 3 Pidgey. So, yeah, my team is planned out in terms of what Pokemon I'm going to have and where I'm going to get them, how I'm going to get them, and also, in a rough sense, my moveset is already planned out. I may be doing a few tweaks to it, but the rough idea is there. So, so we need to go to Viridian City, get Oak's Parcel, go back, and then, well, then we'll get the Pokédex. Then we have to come back to Viridian City, get some Pokeballs, and then we're ready to finally catch some Pokemon. Now, as I've said, my team is already planned out, and one of them I can get very early. And I am also going to be, as strange as it may sound, I'm going to be grinding a little bit in these first few episodes, but that is going to be cut out, because no one wants to watch grinding. So let's take Oak's Parcel. And let's get out of here. Probably best... no, we won't heal yet. Because we are just going to go over the ledges. Now, I've had quite a history with Pokemon. It's... I'm not sure if I've actually mentioned this in the previous videos from today, because I haven't recorded them yet. But I've had quite a history with Pokemon. As I've said, Red was my first game, and I played it so much. My first level 100 Pokemon, here's a story. My first level 100 Pokemon was a level 100 Venusaur. To this day, I haven't really had that many level 100 Pokemon. But I do remember my very first level 100 Pokemon was my Venusaur, my original Venusaur from Red. And then for some reason, I don't understand why, probably because I was just a small, naive, unknowing child, I lent out my copy of Red to one of my friends. And I'm sure you can tell where this is going. The next day I went to see her, and my Venusaur was gone. She'd started a new game, she'd picked a Squirtle. She'd only played it for about half an hour. And obviously she saved. So I remember I was very gutted about that. But that was, oh god, that was at least 15 years ago now. 15? It was less, it was more than that. God, it will have been about 18 years ago. Wow. Where does time go, eh? At least 18 years ago or something. Wow. Now, if we'd have missed that, we could have gone down there. That would have been really bad. We need to try and make it to Viridian City now. We're going to have to run from any more wild battles that we get into. Buy some Pokeballs. Oh, I was hoping we might be able to get through there. I'm sorry, Rattata. We can't do this right now. I will come back for you, don't worry. And I will kick your ass. Now. So Red was my first game. After that, I got Blue. No, I didn't. After that, I got Gold. And that was a really bizarre way of getting it. Basically, there was a guy at school. This is back when I was in first school. There was a guy in school who asked me if I wanted to buy it off him for no more than £10. And I remember that, obviously being a small child, £10, £5 was still fucking quite a lot for me. But no more than £5 or £10. And I got it off him. Now, to this day, I don't know where he got it from or how he got it. Judging by the type of person he was, I'm pretty sure it wasn't his. I can't see him playing Pokemon, even back in its heyday. Now, I could have procured stolen goods. And to this day, in my mind, I still think I did. But hey, I had a lot of fucking fun with Gold. And I loved it. To this day, Gen 2 is my favourite generation. Primarily Heart Gold, but Gen 2 is still... It's always going to be my favourite generation, I believe. So I'm going to cut off from the story a little bit here, and we're going to finally catch our second Pokemon. It's a Pidgey. And so far my catch rate is 100%. It's not going to stay that way, I can guarantee. But Pidgey, a common sight in forests and woods, it flaps its wings at ground level to kick up blinding sand. Now, a Pidgey may be a weird choice for a team. It's a very common, it's one of the most common Pokemon apart from Rattata. At least in Gen 1. But, and it gets a lot of flack actually as well. But honestly, it's always been my go-to bird. In Gen 1. Actually no, in most gens, it's just my go-to bird Pokemon. I'm sure there are plenty of others that are much, much better. But for me, I love it. So there is our second Pokemon. We are going to be doing some grinding, but I'm going to talk about my my experiences a bit more before I actually cut to that. So, and thankfully in Gen 1, Gust is not a flying type move. So, I got Gold, I played the shit out of it. Like I say, it's one of my favourite, well, it is my favourite gen. After that, I got Crystal. I got that. This is when I started getting them like brand new and for like occasions, birthdays and Christmas or whatever. So after that, I got Crystal. Most of the same game, but more. I don't have to explain Crystal. Slightly different story, and a great game. After that, I got Sapphire in Gen 3. And I did like it. It definitely wasn't my favourite. Like a lot of people, maybe not today, but back in the day, thought it was the black sheep of the the family, really. And I was no exception, really. I did enjoy it. I did really enjoy it. And I completed it completely. I've never actually completed a Pokédex. I've got very, very close with a future generation, but never up to that point. So, Sapphire. I did eventually get Emerald as well, and it's either Sapphire or Emerald that I went to my first Pokemon event, and I got... What was it now? I'd like to say it was Celebi. I'd like to say... No, it wasn't Celebi. It was Jirachi. Am I getting this right? It definitely... No, it wasn't a Celebi. I think it was Jirachi. You know, it was so long ago now, I can't remember. It was a massive truck in the parking lot of a Toys R Us. And I begged my dad to take me. It was about a 2-hour drive. And I played a couple of people there. I can't remember the outcomes of those battles. But I got a bit of swag. And swag as in loot. And then I got this event Pokemon. Of course, through the years I sold that game. In fact, I think I probably started a new game on it before I sold it. So I don't have that anymore, but that is my one and only go-to an event Pokemon. I've got obviously downloadable event Pokemon since then, but that's the only one that I've actually been to and physically acquired. Of course, back then you couldn't get one digitally over the air or whatever. So I was quite happy with that. Then we get to Gen 4. And here's where it's a little bit muddy. Of course, by Gen 4, we'd got up to the DS. And for whatever reason, I didn't get Diamond or Pearl or Platinum. And I never played them games. I have since played them a little bit. I haven't completed them. I just don't like Diamond, Platinum or Pearl. I don't know the reason, I just don't like them. And so I essentially skipped a generation. Unless you can call Heart Gold and Soul Silver Gen 4 as well, I guess you could. But I do remember I got Heart Gold on release date, and to this day, Heart Gold, and I guess you could say Soul Silver as well because it is essentially the same game, are my favourite Pokemon games ever. Heart Gold is, I gush so much over that game. It's unreal how much I love that game. And then we come to Black and White. And I got White purely out of... It's a thing when Pokemon games are announced or released. I just pick one. Just as a lot of people probably do. Maybe people look at the version different Pokemon and decide that way. But me, I just pick one. I've already picked which Art of Sun and Moon I'm going to get. And for me, they were only announced 3 days ago. I'm recording this on the 29th of February. So they were only announced like two or 3 days ago. So, yeah. Picked White. And that is when I really started to think, okay, I am going to try and complete this Pokédex. And I got really, really far. I had over 400. Trading from like Leaf Green. Oh, and I completely missed Leaf Green. Okay, we'll go back to that. But yeah, trading from Ruby Sapphire, Leaf Green, Emerald, Heart Gold. And this is when I first picked up, I don't think it was Platinum, I think it was Diamond or Pearl. But this is when I first picked that up because I wanted to play it so that I could complete my Pokédex. And that's really the one game that stopped me, because I just didn't like it. So I never got around to actually completing it. And then eventually I sold it. And still to this day I regret that decision, because I could quite easily go back to it and complete it now. But anyway, let's go back to Leaf Green, because I didn't knock that. I did forget about that. So Leaf Green, I remember I came out around the time that me and my family were going on a holiday to the Dominican Republic. We went for 2 weeks, and for about a week of that time I stayed in the room and ordered room service, because I was ginger, and sun and gingers really don't mix. I was burnt so bad. So the idea was I would play Leaf Green on my SP in the room and we'd all have a jolly good time. Well, I actually forgot to bring my charger with me. And so I could only play for a very short time before that idea was gone. And then when we got back home, I didn't really play it. For whatever reason, I didn't really play it. So, yeah. Oh, come on. Right, we're going to have to switch out here. Goddamn sound attack. So, yeah. That brings us to Black and White. I did get Black and White too, or I did get White too. But that is probably the game I played the least. I played that for about an hour and just thought, for whatever reason, I didn't like it. Then X and Y came out, and I can never remember this. I got Y. No. I got the blue one. I can't remember which one that is. I think it's Y. I believe it's Y. Anyway, you know what? I need to look at this, because it's going to do my head in if I can't remember what it is. I got X. I got X. I got Pokemon X. And I really, really enjoyed it. Of course, it was the first 3D Pokemon. Something that Pokemon fans have been waiting for forever. With the exception of like Colosseum and XD. And to some extent, Stadiums. That was groundbreaking. And I loved it. Not sure if I actually completed it. I don't think I did. But I still enjoyed it. And then finally we'll come to the final games that are actually out at this point. Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby. Of course, with me previously getting Sapphire, I got Alpha Sapphire. And it's now my second favourite game. After Heart Gold, Alpha Sapphire is an amazing game. I don't really have a lot to say about it, really. So I guess we can say Sun and Moon. I've already picked Moon. Apart from me picking Pokemon Red back in the day, or I might not have actually picked it, I'm glad I got Red instead of Blue. I feel that Red's superior. I know there's... Just in my head, I feel it's superior over Blue. But apart from me picking Pokemon Red in the early days, I really haven't gone for the Reds red side, I guess we could say. I mean, I picked Sapphire, I picked Alpha Sapphire. Now that I've confirmed it, I picked X, which was blue. But mainly that was really over the mascot. I preferred the deer thing to the red one. I honestly, don't ask me questions about the last couple of generations. I'm more of a classic Pokemon guy. But with that being said, Moon is the blued, or the blue logoed game. And that may change, my decision may change when we see the mascots. But for now, Blue and Moon, yeah. Pokemon Moon is going to be my game of choice when it comes out. And that's about all she wrote. That took a hell of a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And to be honest, I've done quite a lot of grinding since then. That was going to get cut out, but I had something quite interesting to talk about, which wasn't on the agenda. So actually, at this point, I might go ahead and do the next trainer battle. If I could get to 9, it would be nice, but are we both 8 at the moment? Huh. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will get my Pokemon up to level 10. And then... I'll get Pokemon up to level 10 and then we'll continue.